Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Walter Schirk. I'm responsible for product management for the international markets. And I would like to welcome you on board today of our all-new Jeep Commander. The Jeep Commander is the very first Jeep with 3 seat rows where you can accommodate 7 passengers. What you find on the Jeep Commander is all the safety features and on-road and off-road components which you already know from our Grand Cherokee, which we launched last year. I give you a quick overview of what this vehicle can do. As you see here, I'm sitting here, I take command off the road. The design of the vehicle is communicating all these aspects to be the commander of the road. We have a very rugged, tough looking vehicle. It's a very squared vehicle, that's what the market is asking for. When you see the front of the vehicle, you see the dominant headlamps which are bolted into the vehicle, so you see little fasteners around the headlamps. It's quad headlamps, but you still see little bolts, and those bolts you find as well on the fender flares as a design element. And here in the interior we took the same theme. We have the nuts and bolts here on the dashboard, on the gear shift knob, and on the steering wheel, just to communicate that this is a real tough and rugged vehicle, not only for great off-road use but as well for on-road use. With this design we want to demonstrate that you have command of the road. You have a very high up seating positions, and we have a step in the roof which is hidden from the outside with our roof rail. You cannot see it from the outside, but you can feel it in the inside. You have extremely good comfort. You have a high headroom. We work with skylights in this vehicle. That means you have 3 glass rooftops, 1 in the front, 2 in the rear. And we have optimum on head freedom here in the vehicle. As well, you have a great shoulder room and hip room, and the seats have a great support here on the bottom of the seat. We worked on that you have a better support for your upper leg. As well, we have here some lumbar support which give you a kind of a sporty but as well a feeling like you sit in a cradle when you drive the vehicle. You have the command of the road. It's a very flat hood, so you really feel to be under control of everything. We have very big mirrors which demonstrate as well the masculinity of this vehicle. The seat concept is itself, we have 3 rows of seating. The seats are constructed that we have a kind of a theater style. That means every seat row is a little bit higher than the seat row in front. You sit like in a theater, and even the passenger behind you has a feeling to have command off the road and off the driver, because you can look over your shoulder. On the second seat row you have an integrated armrest with a deployable cup holder. You know, cup holders are important, especially in this hot environment where you need your drinks from time to time. The third seat row has a split of a 50-50. That means you have a utmost on variability and flexibility in the vehicle. You have a total of 15 different seat configurations. If you fold flat all the seats, you have a fold flat loading floor which gives you up to 951 liters of cargo volume, which is pretty significant in this segment. We kept the flipper class, which our Jeeps are famous for. All the seats have a one-hand action mechanisms. That means with one hand you are able to fold flat and tumble the seat forward. There is a little step which helps you to access the second or the third seat row. As another design feature in the interior, we have the seats which have a leather interior as standard on this model. We work with perforated seats which give you a better climate. So we have a quite tremendous vehicle here. It's an overall length of 4.79 meters, so we keep the nimble handling. It's only 4 centimeters longer than the Grand Cherokee, and the Grand Cherokee is famous for its nimble handling, so we kept this. We have a turning circle of 11.8 meters. This is comparable to small cars which have only a length of 4.2 meters. We achieve this basically with our rack and pinion steering. We have great on-road performance. We have an independent front suspension, a 5-link rear suspension, the rack and pinion steering, which gives you all the great on-road dynamics. We have a special suspension tuning for the international markets, so the vehicles have a different set of springs that are differently tuned for our needs here. We have all the safety features in the vehicle which you need on the road. So ESP, ABS, brake assist systems, electronic roll mitigation system, which helps you to keep vertical stability of the vehicle when the driver brings the vehicle to some kind of critical situation. The vehicle automatically detects it with the ESP and makes sure that you don't get any problems. Under the hood we have a great engine. We have the V8 4.7 liter, which you already know from the Grand Cherokee, and we have our top of the range 5.7 liter Hemi engine. Hemi, you know, it's with the hemispherical combustion chamber. We have a MDS system. This is our multiple displacement systems. That means you have a cylinder deactivation. If you don't need the 8 cylinders, 4 of them are switched off, and with this you have a better fuel economy of about 20%. We have 326 horsepower and a torque of 500 Newton meters, which gives you excellent towing capacity to up to 3.5 tons. The top speed of the 5.7 liter is 208 km, which is quite significant for this kind of vehicle, so you're not only the king off the road but as well on the road. Let me quickly talk about off-road systems. What we have standard equipment on the 5.7 liter Hemi is our Quattro Drive 2 system. The Quattro Drive 2 system, to explain it pretty simple, has an electronic controlled transfer case, 2 electronically controlled slip differentials on the front and the rear axle. What it does is, based on the electronic system, 100% of the torque can be steered to the wheel which has traction. That means if you are working in the sand or on a slippery ground and 3 of your wheels don't have any traction, if at least one of the wheels has a minimum of traction, all 100% or up to 100% of torque will be steered to this wheel and get you out of trouble. On the 4.7 liter we have the Quattro Track 2 system as our base system. It has the electronically controlled transfer case as well. The major difference to Quattro Drive 2 is up to 100% of the torque can be distributed to the front or to the rear axle. On Quattro Drive you basically steer 100% torque to one wheel. So 2 very good off-road systems, best in the market. Nobody else in the market has that. Why do we come with this vehicle now? The segment shows 3 polarizations. We have a very sporty corner of the segment where you find still today the Porsche Cayenne. We will change that pretty soon with the launch of our Grand Cherokee SRT8. You have a very elegant segment which is dominated by the Mercedes-Benz M-Class and the Land Rover, for example, the Range Rover. And you have a very rugged, very extreme corner in the segment, which you can figure like a Land Rover LR3 or a Hummer H2. We do not want to get that extreme, we do not want to go that big, so we keep the nimble handling, and we come with the Commander, which is going into this rugged area but still give you the refinement which you need on the road, the comfort, the luxuriness and everything else which you expect today from a car in this segment.